Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 216 based on novel. So let's start. Since this is the case, then we will go back to the Burning Incense Pavilion first, and 2 days later, we will fight Shenling Mountain decisively. All grievances will end here. Mu Shuzi looked at Xiao Yan, his heart was full of relief, and he smiled. Snake King, send them out. We also have to start preparing. It's a big deal, don't be sloppy. Shifu raised his snake-shaped scepter slightly and said quite heavily, "Okay." The Snake King also knew that this was the territory of the Medusa clan after all, and having one's own would save a lot of trouble, otherwise, he would encounter some unsightly things. Let's go. Xiao Yang and Mu Shuzi looked at each other and immediately followed by Long Yi and Xiao Yi. Charm Blue. With you as the team leader of the 8 major tribes, we will begin to rectify it. The powerhouses in the clan whose strength exceeds that of the 7-star Do Emperor will all gather. I'm afraid it will be a real death battle after the two. Mobile, you lead the strong snake people to go out to find Queen Medusa. The matter is very important. You must let the Queen personally command it, and this battle has the possibility of victory. Orders came out of Shifu's mouth in an orderly manner. By the way, what about Mu Yingying's girl? Mu Shuzi asked just after leaving the Crystal Palace. This. Long Yi and Xiao Yi looked at each other and said hesitantly, I chased out at the time and was dumped by her. Xiao Yi also said shyly, forget it, let her be quiet. Xiao Yang also knew that experiencing this kind of thing for a while was also a devastating blow to her. After speaking, the 5 of them walked directly towards the Burning Incense Pavilion. Phut. After a while, the Snake King also left them and returned to the Medusa clan, and Xiao Yang and the 4 also returned to the outside of the Burning Incense Pavilion, and after taking a step forward, they stepped into the Burning Heaven territory. Little guy, welcome home. At this time, Mu Shuzi said with a kind smile on the corner of his mouth. Well, go home. When Xiao Yang heard this, his heart couldn't help feeling warm. Although he had retired from the sect, in the final analysis, he was also a member of the Burning Incense Pavilion. Hey, look. Those people in the sky are a little familiar, and there is Uncle Mu Shuzi next to him. That man is actually carrying a heavy ruler. Could it be senior brother Xiao Yang? There were people coming and going in the Funxiang Pavilion, and some disciples with good eyesight looked at the scene in the high sky of Fen Tianyu and couldn't help it. Said, Xiao Yang and the others are back. At this time, a series of familiar figures jumped directly into the sky of Burning Heaven Domain. Eldest brother. Junior sister Ling Xian. Familiar names emerged from Xiao Yang's mouth. Junior brother, welcome back. Mu Tian took the brunt of the brunt, took a step forward, and then extended his palm to Xiao Yang. Senior brother. Seeing this, Xiao Yang shook it without hesitation, and then laughed. Hey, you guy, your strength should not be underestimated. Wait, this is... The next moment, Mu Feng, who was beside him, hurried forward and said to Xiao Yang, this is my sworn eldest brother. Xiao Yang did not shy away and said directly, Long Yi is the most powerful and the eldest brother, Xiao Yang's wise mind and mind are the second brother, while Xiao Yi is the quiet third brother, actually the third brother. This strength is a bit terrifying. Mu Feng couldn't help laughing when he heard this. Let's go down first. Your deeds have spread in the sect. I believe that many brothers and sisters will be very happy to see you. Mu Shuzi said. Wait, there are guests here. Just as Mu Shuzi's voice fell, the space outside the Burning Heaven territory suddenly trembled, and then circles of invisible evil aura slowly brewed out. There are enemies. Alert. And Mu Shuzi's strength had already broken through to the 9-star Do Emperor. He just discovered this abnormality and couldn't help but say with a heavy expression. Because even with the strength of his 9-star Do Emperor, he could smell a hint of fear from the evil aura in front of him. Funxiang Pavilion's guy, is this how you welcome old friends? And in the shaking space, an old man appeared in the next moment. Looking at the grey hair, he looks old, but his spirit is extremely spiritual. As for his body, there are traces of evil blood around him, which makes people look quite disgusted at first glance. A 9-star Do D with rank 6 strength. Seeing this, Xiao Yi took a slight step forward. Old Shua. But Mu Shuzi was surprised when he saw this figure appear. Old Chaos. Xiao Yang and his disciples were all surprised when they heard the words. This guy is the deputy head of the Wolf Eagle Legion. But it's not right to be an upright person. He is one of the few people in the Xianling royal family who can make friends. The next moment, Mu Shuzi said. The fluctuations in his body are the aura of the evil clan outside the realm. At this time, Xiao Yang's pupils exuded a hint of khaki, and the holy flame in the body sent out an extremely disgusting feeling towards the old man. If it wasn't for Xiao Yang's suppression, the holy flame is about to burst out and devour it. This guy, what are you doing here? And the disciples were also a little confused. What, Mu Shuzi, your pavilion master is not here? The voice of the old man was full of a playful evil spirit, standing outside the burning heaven territory and scanning a circle of Mu Shuzi. Everyone said the pavilion owner is not there, what's the matter? Mu Shuzi also has the same imposing manner as the old man, and said, thanks to the righteousness of our king, we have already captured all the evil races from outside the territory that endangered our Shentian Santian, but the power of our king alone is not enough to completely obliterate them. 2 days later, our Xianling royal family will hold the demon extermination ceremony in Xianling Mountain. At that time, I hope that your pavilion masters can participate together and make a modest contribution to the tranquility of Xian 3 days. Next. The voice of the old man was very low, and at the end of his words, a golden token with mysterious characters was projected directly at Mu Shuzi. Mysterious Spirit Invitation Order? Mu Shuzi easily caught the token, but found that it had mysterious powers on it. The invitation order for Xianling is almost the highest standard token of the Xianling royal family. Being invited by this token is enough to show the status of burning incense pavilion. Would you like to keep him? Looking at this arrogant and domineering old man, Long Yi lowered his voice and asked Xiao Yang. Not for the time being. Xiao Yang shook his head and said, although there are deep grievances between the Xianling royal family and the Funxiang pavilion, but others are only here to send invitations. Even if they stop them, I am afraid it will not help. There are other sect invitations to send, so I won't tell you the old times. After doing all this, the old man flashed directly, and then disappeared here, leaving only the Funxiang pavilion as a high-level executive. This is a conspiracy. Seeing the figure of the old man disappear slowly, after a while, Xiao Yang raised his forehead and said heavily, this is a conspiracy. Xiao Yang's voice slowly echoed in everyone's heart. Maybe this is really a conspiracy. But the Xianling royal family made a good move this time. The entire foreign evil clan can be used as a bargaining chip. If they win, their Xianling royal family will be completely strong. If they lose, I am afraid that the Xianling royal family will be completely wiped out. As Xiao Yang's voice fell, Zhu Jin the figure also emerged. Old Zhu. Seeing Zhu Jin appear, all the disciples nodded slightly. Old Zhu, your strength. The next moment, Xiao Yang's heavy expression suddenly became strange. Because Bamboo Ember just appeared, the energy of heaven and earth in the sky suddenly became shaking. You little brat, I can't hide anything from you. Well, it's time to fight immortals. Zhu Jin laughed when she heard the words. Dozian. The other disciples were also slightly surprised when they heard the words. At this time, among the Funxiang Pavilion disciples, the only ones with tyrannical strength were at the level of the 7-star Do Emperor, and there was undoubtedly a lot of gap compared to Dozian. It seems that this matter has to wait for the pavilion master to come back and make a long-term plan. Zhu Jin said. Where is the pavilion master? Xiao Yang was also puzzled when he heard this. Xiao Yang clearly remembered Fen Tian's promise to him at that time. If he saved Yin Tong, Fen Tian would cover him. It seems that I have to deal with some personal grievances, but I should be able to come back tomorrow. Zhu Jin said. The next moment, watching everyone quiet down, Mu Shuzi became depressed. Zuolaro used to be very righteous, and he didn't have the evil spirit now. What is going on? Mu Shuzi and Zhu Laro had a good relationship in the past, but now they are a little stunned. And everyone laughed and laughed for a while, and then went back individually. After all, the real war was coming, and everyone was extremely depressed. Besides, other places in Shentian-san also staged the same scene as burning incense. Inside Wanhua Pavilion, in a rather quiet attic, the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion was sitting down slowly. His jade hand gently plucked the guqin under his hand, and a rather beautiful violin sounded. Pavilion master, a strong person from the Xianling royal family came over just now. Invite us to participate in the demon extermination ceremony in the next 2 days. Hua Yun on the side said quite gently. Hua Yun, do you think my piano is beautiful? Will Fenshin like it? Hua Xin, the master of the Wanhua Pavilion, asked in disapproval. Should like it. Hua Yun had followed the pavilion master for so many years, so naturally he knew his habit, and then laughed. That girl Yueru, it's been so long since she accepted the inheritance, why hasn't there been any sign of leaving? Hua Xin heard the words, got up slightly, and looked at the distant space and said, Yueru's soul imprint has just experienced extremely violent fluctuations, and I am afraid that she will be out of the customs in the near future. Hua Yun said, according to the power of Fairy Moonlight's inheritance, if we successfully exit the customs, our Wanhua Pavilion will add another immortal warrior. But none of that matters. Send the order down. Rectify the troops and go to Shenling Mountain in 2 days to duel with the Shenling royal family. But Hua Xin spoke slightly. Yes, Pavilion Master. Hua Yun heard the words and went straight down to make preparations. Fen Tian, after this time is over, let's go into seclusion. Hua Xin, with her beautiful eyes full of tenderness, opened her mouth slightly, and after speaking, she plucked the strings for herself. Ancient desolate palace. Palace Master, the powerful royal family of Shenling just sent an invitation order, and 2 days later, they will go to Shenling Mountain to kill the evil people from outside the realm. Feng Lin, the eldest disciple on the side, said to the Palace Master. 2 days later, manslaughter an alien race. What on earth is the Shenling royal family doing? The evidence shown in the sect competition is enough to prove that they have a strong relationship with the aliens. Even if they take out all the aliens for mortgage, they still have the aura of the aliens. These guys. Huang Li's eyes flickered slightly, thinking quickly. Palace Master, shall we go? Feng Lin, who was beside him, couldn't help asking when he saw the Palace Master thinking so. Go, but everything depends on the sect. Huang Li said. Ah. Feng Lin was a little puzzled when the Hall Master said so. Our ancient desolate palace is quite weak. If we really fight the Shenling royal family, we will only suffer in the end. The evil races outside the territory must be eliminated, but we must also focus on the sect. Also, with the Burning Incense Pavilion and the Medusa clan in the front line, we can win the victory at the lowest cost. Huang Li said. But the Hall Master, haven't we already formed 8 demon-killing alliances with the Fenxiang Pavilion? It would be a little bit. Feng Lin said dumbly. In his eyes, the Hall Master is not such a person. You will naturally understand when you reach my level. Alright, let's go get ready, gather the strong, as for whether to fight or not, that's not our business. Huang Li said. Yes. Feng Lin shook his head and said, then went down. Everything I do is just for the sake of the sect. I hope he can understand it in the future. Huang Li said, and nodded secretly. Obviously, as the master of a hall, he had no choice but to do it. Dan Valley. Dan Gui, your trip to Burning Incense Pavilion is a bit of a conflict. In a wooden house, 2 old men stood on the chairs, one of them looked rather weak, and was the first to speak. Senior brother, the Shenling royal family's actions like this are undoubtedly declaring war with all our sects in Shentian Santian. I'm just a pill that promises combat readiness. As for combat, we alchemists are not good at it. What's more, Shen Tiantian looks like this. As Dan Ji Yu, we naturally have to do our little bit. Promise to prepare the pills for battle, so that we can save our disciples from losses. Pill Ghost Yi Qingtian said. Never mind. Now the Dan Valley is in your hands. The pros and cons are for you to weigh. I can't help you much anymore. Dan Xian said weakly. Senior brother, you. Yi Qingtian couldn't help but ask as if he was aware of Danxian's implication. The deadline is approaching, I'm going to retreat. It's life or death, it all depends on God's will. After speaking, Dan Xian's figure flashed and disappeared directly here. The puppet mansion. Pass my order. Call the disciples of the mansion, and 2 days later, go to Shenling Mountain to fight for life and death. The puppet mansion master said to the elites in the mansion. Strengthen my puppet. When the disciples in the palace heard the words, they all nodded, obviously they already knew the importance of the matter. Wanjianmen. Rectify the disciples under the sect. Follow me to Shenling Mountain in 2 days. Our Wanjianmen, as the leader of the super sects, naturally cannot back down. Take 2 immortal swords and attack together. And Zhou Jinxian also issued orders one by one. Purgatory Hall. Palace Master, recently, among the Shenling royal family, the powerhouses have gathered, and they seem to be planning a big plan. And the subordinates also found that there are 3 strong men in the Shenling royal family, and they went towards the Poison Sect, Solomon, and Soul Clan respectively. I don't know why. The man in plain clothes said. Gather the troops and bring all the means to kill the evil race outside the territory. After 2 days, we will kill the aliens together. After finishing speaking, The hall master of the Purgatory Hall began to get busy. 9 stars fall together. I'm afraid something big will happen. Xiao Yang, this catastrophe is all up to you. However, I'm still a little curious. How can the strength of the 7-star Dodi in the middle stage be able to turn the tide this time? At this time, in the distant astrology valley, the valley master looked at the vision in the night sky with the vicissitudes of life, and couldn't help but say, Xian Sansan's night was quite soft and beautiful. In the cold sky, bursts of cold came. Poison sect. 5 poisons, what's going on? I need an explanation. The sect master of the poison sect had just left the burning incense pavilion and returned to their base camp of the poison sect. Suddenly, the poison sect seemed to have been looted. The entire sect was filled with an extremely nervous look. If it weren't for the loss of the disciples, I'm afraid this poisonous sect master would be instantly furious. Return to sect master. While you were out, we have been keeping ourselves safe. But I don't know why, one night, an unknown strong man came and did not ask, and broke into our poison sect forbidden area without authorization. In order to protect the sisters in the sect, the deputy sect master fought with the mysterious man. But in just one encounter, he was seriously injured by the mysterious man. The 5 poisonous auras were a little unsteady, and it was obvious that the mysterious man had left him with a lot of injuries. And then, the poison sect's sect master heard that he was already furious, but he still suppressed his anger and asked, Deputy sect master Zhu Ling, that is a genuine half-immortal strength, and he has cultivated poisonous fighting qi. In addition, this is on the site of the poisonous sect and their own. I am afraid that they have the power to resist the real fighting fairy powerhouse, but unexpectedly even the mysterious man couldn't resist a face-to-face. Does this mean that Zhu Ling is too weak? Or is that mysterious person too powerful? The sect master of the poison sect asked himself, even with his own strength, he couldn't be a powerful person who seriously injured a half-immortal. That mysterious man doesn't seem to be coming for us. He wounded the deputy sect master and jumped directly into the forbidden area. I don't know why. Then our elders in the sect took action and went to the forbidden area to search, but there was no trace. Wuju said. Nothing was lost. The poison sect master asked. Obviously what this mysterious person did was quite strange. No. Wuju said. Go down and recuperate. After the poison sect master finished speaking, he went directly to the forbidden area in the poison sect. The forbidden land of poison sect, this is a small forest surrounded by special power. Every powerhouse or disciple who has a poisonous body will detonate the poisonous body here, so as to gradually control it. Therefore, in this forbidden area of poison sect, it is rendered by countless venoms, and a kind of poison is also born. Pretty mysterious stuff. Soul Control Guide. This thing was neutralized by countless venoms and naturally produced. This thing is colorless and odorless, and it is extraordinarily transparent like clear water. Even the strong immortals cannot find it, but its effect cannot be underestimated. Because the sect master of the poison sect once experimented, if he was infected with this soul-controlling guide, he would be instantly controlled by it. As for the mystery, even the sect master of the poison sect himself did not know about it. The soul-controlling guide has been in the entire Shenzhen 3 days, so I know that this thing is a real poison, and nothing can happen. If it falls into the wrong hands, it may cause a real war. The poison sect master stood outside the forbidden area and muttered to himself. After speaking, the handprint on the slender jade hand changed rapidly, and then a space channel suddenly appeared in front of him, and the sect master of poison sect poured directly into it. Is there someone else's breath? The poison sect master had just entered the forbidden area, when he smelled an unfamiliar breath. In that breath, there is a trace of hot flame power, but it contains a more majestic evil power. Just after discovering this unfamiliar aura, the poison sect master secretly exclaimed, and then ran directly to the small mountain in the forbidden area. A bold idea emerged in his mind. At this time, the sect master of the poison sect was already standing on the poison mountain, and the land here had turned black due to the penetration of venom. Are you okay? After a while, the poison sect master came directly to the center of the forbidden area. Immediately, looking at the round stone in the center, a delicate jade bottle was slowly rotating in the air, and she couldn't help but move her eyes slightly. What's in this jade bottle is a soul-controlling guide. Don't underestimate the slap-sized jade bottle. Even a drop of soul control can still control the entire huge army after dilution, not to mention such a slap-sized bottle. No. The next moment, when the sect master of poison sect was about to turn around and leave, his beautiful eyes were only staring at the jade bottle in front of him, and a strangeness emanated from it. Because of the intuition, the poison sect master seems to think that something is wrong with this jade bottle, so just in case, it is absolutely necessary to check it easily. The seal, lift it. The matter of controlling the soul was very important, and the sect master of poison sect did not dare to be sloppy, and immediately took action to dissipate the seal around the jade bottle. Shabu. And as the sect master of poison sect lifted the seal, the jade bottle was also returned to his hands. The jade hand just fell into the hands of the poison sect master. There is no temperature, and there is no change, as if it is quiet. This is. And the jade bottle just returned to the hands of the poison sect master, but his face became ugly, and a trace of fear poured into his heart. Damn bastard. After a while, the fierce aura of the poison sect master suddenly burst out, and the monstrous poison swept the place. The poison sect master is naturally sensitive to venom because he has a terrible poisonous body. The more violent the poison, the greater the fluctuation of his body, but at this time the poison sect master is holding the jade bottle. There is no fluctuation in the body. This means that the colorless and transparent liquid in the jade bottle in front of you is not a soul controlling guide at all. The soul control guide was stolen. Asshole. The soul control guide will temporarily control even the strong immortals. Even if I have studied for many years, I still haven't found a way to solve it. Who did this? The sect master of poison sect put away the jade bottle and said coquettishly, his voice full of anxiety. She knew that the harm of this thing was far more terrifying than the Shenling royal family. This thing is like a deadly poison, because just with it, a huge army can be created. The Shenling royal family? After a while, the poison sect master regained some sanity and then spoke out. After all, according to the behavior of the Shenling royal family, it is very likely that they are. But it shouldn't. This Shen Sansan, who can seriously injure a half-immortal with one blow, I am afraid that his strength must surpass that of a 1-star Dozian, and a 2-star Dozian. I am afraid that there is only one person in the entire Shen Santian. What is going on? No. This matter is too important. We must go to Fenxiang Pavilion to discuss with Fenshen. If it was really stolen by the Shenling royal family, I'm afraid this time the demon extermination ceremony will not be so simple. After the poison sect master finished speaking, his figure flashed and disappeared directly here, non-stop facing the location of the burning incense pavilion. Shen Sansan's night was quite poignant, and I don't know if it was Tsungtian's emotions when he saw the conspiracy of the Shenling royal family or something else. After the sect master of the poison sect found out that the soul control guide had been stolen, he immediately settled the affairs of the sect, and then left facing the location of the burning incense pavilion. And this night, the space outside the burning incense pavilion was not willing to be quiet. Shabu. Above a mountain, large and small rock faults continued to emerge. Obviously, the terrain here is quite dangerous. This guy. It seems to be controlled by someone. At this time, behind a huge rock, a figure muttered and said in a deep voice. On its body, large and small injuries were extremely conspicuous. Susu. Following the figure behind the rock, a person covered in a black cloak slowly made a rather strange sound on the mountain rock in front of him. Damn it. When did the Shenling royal family appear to be such a strong person? The figure behind the rock watched the man in black in the cloak slowly walk towards the place where he was hiding, and couldn't help but say, Fenshen, don't hide. Today, you will die. The man in black suddenly made a rather arrogant voice, resounding throughout the mountain. Fen Tian has been trying to investigate the collusion between the Shenling royal family and the foreign evil clan since the sect competition began, so he poured into the Shenling royal family several times. Go, there is no danger. But what Ling Fenshen didn't expect was that this time when he was about to find out the conspiracy of the Shenling royal family, he was actually chased and killed by this mysterious man in front of him, from inside the Shenling royal family to this place. If it wasn't for Fen Tian's extraordinary abilities, I am afraid that it has become the soul of his subordinates. And what Fenshen didn't expect was that the strength of this mysterious person in front of him was actually stronger than himself. He is already in the early stage of the 2-star Dozian. If he is stronger than himself, then there is no doubt. After all, in the battle of immortals, even a small difference in level is enough to decide the outcome. There is still a long way to go from the Fenxiang Pavilion, so even if it is as powerful as Fenshen, it is still somewhat powerless. Humph. It's just a lackey of the Shenling royal family. Fen Tian looked at the mysterious man who was getting closer and closer, and was not hiding. He walked out of the back of the rock and said to the mysterious man, Ha ha. In the past, I wasn't in the Shenling royal family, so I let you do anything wrong, but now I've taken care of other things. Next is you. When you are killed, 1 day later, the entire Shen Santian will be buried with you. The mysterious man said calmly. Really? I don't know what kind of grievances there will be in a day. Hearing this, Fen Tian couldn't help but say, doubtfully. Knowing too much is not good for you. Your strength in the early stage of the 2-star Dozian is very strong. However, it's time to hit the road. At the end of the sentence, circles of fiery red flames burst out from the mysterious man's body, attacking Fen Tian. The power of Yang Kai. Fen Tian's eyesight is so sharp, this fiery red flame just emerged, and he suddenly felt a familiar wave, and he was surprised. That's right, the reward is send you to hell. And the mysterious man wasn't too afraid of Fen Tian. After all, the difference in direct strength between the two was too obvious, so he had no worries. Not good. Run. And Fen Tian was also someone who made a decisive decision. He knew that the mysterious person in front of him was stronger than himself, and he would not have any chance of winning if he stayed here. It's too late. The mysterious man was surrounded by fiery red flames, and before Fen Tian could escape, circles of fiery red flames attacked Fen Tian directly. Flame Realm. Looking at the short breathing time, the surroundings were surrounded by this fiery red flame, and a heavy feeling came, and Fen Tian's face became more and more solemn. Blue Profound Wolf. But as the flame domain took shape, the mysterious man called out slightly. Zhongshuan Wolf. Xian Kang, the ancestor of the Xianling royal family. Looking at this scene, even Fen Tian, who was always calm, turned pale. It is rumored that the ancestor of the Xianling royal family, Xian Kang, has been gifted since childhood, and that Zhongshuan Wolf is a product of his domain. He once used this trick when he was a 1-star fighting immortal to kill a 2-star fighting immortal. Burning Tian couldn't help recalling. As Fen Tian's voice fell, a mysterious space of hundreds of meters appeared in the flame domain. The space passage of several hundred meters just appeared, and suddenly countless small runes engraved with mysterious fluctuations emerged, and in the center of the space passage, a wolf king suddenly stepped on his forefoot, which was directly reflected in Fen Tian's pupils. It was a wolf king with silver hair all over his body, strong limbs, and the mysterious rune on his forehead, which showed the king's aura to the fullest. Zhongshuan Wolf, kill him for me. Seeing the appearance of the wolf king, the mysterious man ordered. Zhongshuan Wolf raised his arrogant head when he heard the words, and then the mysterious rune above his head flashed brightly. The next moment, his whole body turned into a silver bow and arrow, and flashed directly at Fen Tian. Burning Heaven Cauldron, protect me. At this time, Fen Tian also knew that there was no hope of escaping, so his eyes sank, and an extremely terrifying force was erupting. Boom boom boom. The silver bow and arrow were like thunder, extremely fast, and instantly hit Fen Tian. In front of Fen Tian, a mysterious giant cauldron also engraved with countless tiny runes suddenly appeared, and the two forces were instantly stalemate. Between the 2-star fighting immortals, even if it is a small one, it can decide the outcome. So, Burning Heaven, die. And the mysterious man couldn't help roaring directly when he saw Fen Tian's resistance so hard. Xian, King Xianling, are you controlling him? But Fen Tian couldn't help his pupils shrinking when he heard this wild laughter. Bang bang bang. The next moment, the silver bow and arrow directly smashed Fen Tian Ding, and then penetrated Fen Tian's body heavily. Fen Tian was so seriously injured that he couldn't help gushing out a mouthful of blood, his breath suddenly weakened. As expected of Fen Tian. And the mysterious man couldn't help being shocked when he saw Fen Tian like this. The Zhongshuan Wolf's attack just now hit Fen Tian's vital point, and it could kill him with one blow, but in the end, Fen Tian moved the place where he attacked, so today's Fen Tian was only severely injured, not in a state of fall. You are very smart. If you hadn't diverted the Zhongshuan Wolf's attack at the last moment, I'm afraid you would be a corpse now, but it doesn't matter. I don't believe you can survive the second round. Let's die. After the mysterious man finished speaking, there was a terrifying wave in the Zhongshuan Wolf's pupils, as if he was curious that the figure in front of him did not fall under his blow. Damn it. Although Fen Tian was not fatally injured by the Zhongshuan Wolf's attack, he was seriously injured after penetrating his body. Bang bang bang. The next moment, the space surrounded by the flame field suddenly produced a shattering sound. The sky is full of poison. After a while, at the broken realm, a coquettish anger, full of anger, directly attacked the mysterious man. Sect Master of the Poison Sect, is the 1-star fighting immortal complete? Withdraw. The mysterious man made a decision in just a few breaths. Asshole. Don't run. The Poison Sect Master couldn't help cursing. Fen Tian, are you alright? Seeing the mysterious man leaving, the poison sect master hurriedly supported Fen Tian and asked with concern, but the poison sect master had his mind on Fen Tian and didn't notice that the mysterious man possessed soul control. "Return to the sect," Fen Tian said, and immediately passed out. The sect master of the poison sect heard the words and took Fen Tian Chao's incense pavilion with him. Haha, Fen Tian was seriously injured. The soul control guide is also in hand. Now everything is ready, only the east wind. At the distant headquarters of the Xianling royal family, King Xuanling's pupils opened slightly, and he said maliciously, "This night is obviously a night of insomnia for many strong people, and the burning incense pavilion is late at night, but it is also brightly lit." In the dark night, the breeze was swaying, and a handsome figure was hugging a rather handsome figure and flew directly towards the Funxiang pavilion headquarters. "Who? Stop. This is the realm of the burning incense pavilion. If you take a step forward, don't blame me for being rude." Some figures in charge of patrols looked at the fast and ghostly too and couldn't help saying, "Go away." At this time, looking at the person in his arms with such a painful appearance, and even the conspicuous skeleton in his chest, the poison sect master immediately shouted, and then took Fen Tian and jumped into the Funxiang pavilion. "Someone has entered the sect." The patrolling figure just wanted to send a signal, but was blocked by a familiar figure. "Go on, don't mention today's affairs to others." Zhu Jin's figure, like a ghost, appeared behind the pair of patrolling men. "Yes, Elder Zhu." The patrol figure couldn't help saying, "Let's go." After Zhu Jin finished speaking, he followed directly. Burning Heaven's residence. Poison sect master, what's going on? Poison sect master sent Fen Tian back to Funxiang pavilion, and then simply dealt with Fen Tian's injuries. Seeing that Fen Tian's pain was reduced a bit, he felt a little relieved. "I have something to look for Fen Tian, so I came from the poison sect overnight. It's just that when I came here, I saw someone blocking Fen Tian. Even with Fen Tian's strength, he is still invincible." Poison sect master shook his head slightly. "How many people are there?" Zhu Jin was quite surprised when he heard the words, and said directly, "To know. Fen Tian's current strength is a 2-star fighting immortal, not to mention Shen Santian. I am afraid that he can walk sideways in Xianling continent. How can it be?" "1. The poison sect master hesitated for a while, then said, "What? 1? Hearing sect master Poison say so, even Zhu Jin's expression became strange. It seems that this time, things don't seem to be as simple as we thought. Poison sect master shook his head and said, "Then the matter of the 8 sects destroying Demon Alliance, is it still going on? Seeing that Fen Tian was so seriously injured, I am afraid that he will not wake up in a while. A super sect with different minds. The matter of the 8 sect destroying alliance will naturally take place. Fenxian's matter, don't spread it out. He has worked hard for so many years, this time, let me share his worries for him. This time, I will carry the banner." After sect master Poison said, he gave Fen Tian a reluctant look. "Take care of him." After leaving a sentence, the poison sect master turned around and returned to the poison sect. "Burning heaven. Sure enough, you and Hua Xin are more suitable. I'm just a person with a miserable life. Well, let this time the 8 sects destroying Demons Alliance repay the kindness of your redemption. In this case, both are beautiful. I have repaid your kindness, and I can let you and Hua Xin be together in good terms. I just don't know why my heart hurts so much." The poison sect master muttered to himself on the way back to the poison sect, and his tears slowly flowed down. The next day, when the first rays of sunlight poured into the earth in the early morning, it heralded the beginning of a beautiful day, but it also symbolized that this was the last day before the Xianling royal family's demon extermination ceremony. During the past 2 days, Xiao Yang did not practice cultivation, but got along with the many brothers in the Funxiang pavilion, which made Xiao Yang, who had been focusing on cultivation for a while, feel at home. Tomorrow will be the day when the Xianling royal family will hold the demon extermination ceremony. Xiao Yang sat in the heavenly palace and said with his senior brother and a few others over wine and food, "Don't worry, junior brother, there are pavilion masters and the others in these matters, so we don't need to worry about it." Seemingly seeing Xiao Yang's worries, he immediately opened his mouth to comfort him. "I just don't know why, but I suddenly feel sad. Come on, senior brother, let's do it." Xiao Yang also didn't say nonsense, and directly started drinking with senior brother. "Junior brother Xiao Yi, drink it. By the way, why don't you see brother Long Yi?" The senior brother couldn't help asking. "Big brother, he seems to be called by Zhu Jin, I don't know why." Xiao Yi shook his head and said, "Come on, let's drink." Xiao Yang, let me tell you, when you defeated those guys from the Shenling royal family in the Blood River, you were not so domineering. After 3 tours of wine, I'm back. While Xiao Yang Xiaoyi and the 7 people in the Heavenly Palace were eating and drinking, Long Yi also returned here. Big brother, what are they looking for you for? Xiao Yi on the side was obviously a little surprised that the senior officials of the Funxiang Pavilion called Long Yi over for a meeting. Do you want to hear the truth? Long Yi didn't look very good at this time, so he directly picked up a bowl of wine and drank it all at once. With Long Yi looking like this, everyone turned their attention to Long Yi. Solomon and the branch of the soul race in Shentian San. Total extinction. Among them, Solomon are 2 half-immortals, and 2 fighting immortals are from the Soul Clan. 9-star Do-D strong people are not few. After drinking a bowl of wine, Long Yi said solemnly, "What?" And as Long Yi spoke like this, the whole room was deadly quiet. The headquarters of the Soul Clan is not in the Shenling continent, and the Soul Clan forces are spread all over the Do-D Sifang continent, but their strength should not be underestimated. Moreover, with the addition of Solomon's top power, among the 2 forces, the 2 half-immortals and the 2 fighting immortals fell completely. Are there any clues? Xiao Yang asked with a bitter expression. According to the information of the people who went to investigate, I'm afraid it has nothing to do with the Shenling royal family. Long Yi said. The Shenling royal family? When did they become so powerful? The Soul Clan has a lot of methods. The 2 fighting immortals are definitely more powerful than ordinary powerhouses. With such a fallen flower, doesn't it mean that someone in the Shenling royal family has reached the Star Do Emperor's consummation or even, Tuzing Duxian? Xiao Yang couldn't help saying. Could it be the power of an alien race? But half of the blood demon envoys in the Gorfians, the 4th envoy and the left envoy of the Gorfiend have been killed by themselves. Now the strength of the Gorfians is at best the blood demon envoy, the right Gorfiend envoy and some miscellaneous fish. Xiao Yang said in a deep voice in his heart. Furthermore, the 8 demon slayer alliances have now withdrawn from 4, and only Purgatory Hall is willing to advance and retreat with us. Long Yi Zaidu said. Damn. It can be said that this is a lonely tree. And the senior brother Mu Qianyuan's face also became extremely solemn. If the destruction of Solomon and the Soul Clan was really done by Shen Ling, I am afraid that in the entire Shen Santian, no one can have the strength to compete with them. Tomorrow, I'm afraid there will be a storm. And Xiao Yang also looked out of the room and muttered to himself. It's just a mere 2-star fighting immortal. After using the Soul Eater talisman and the Blood River Bell, it's impossible to fight against it. It seemed that he had sensed Xiao Yang's thoughts, and the Soul Eater in his body also laughed. 9 stars have fallen, 3 of them have fallen. The Solomon Sect Master and the Soul Clan, the 2 fighting immortals. King Xuanling's plan, has it begun? In the Astrology Valley, only the valley owner was left muttering to himself. This video will end here.